D. Riley, candidate for Lieutenant Governor in 2011.
What are your goals?
The economy. First and foremost, what we'll be focusing on is the economy. But I think to accomplish that goal, we'll need to really clear out the corruption and dysfunction that's currently ruling Frankfort and our state and our capital.
Why is Gatewood the best candidate for the job?
Everybody's always known Gatewood as the best candidate for the job. He certainly has the intellect to lead, he has the right philosophy, and he more resembles really what the people of Kentucky want than any other single candidate. And by the way, he remembers that the people of Kentucky are the ones in charge. That's what makes him the primary candidate. That's why I'm honored to run with Gatewood now. His continuing contribution and challenging the system that continues to fail generation after generation. It's now time to put an end to it.
Why are you running for governor of Kentucky?
Because I refuse to sit by and watch Kentucky remain 45th, 46th, 47th, and 48th in all the standard living indexes. I refuse to sit by and accept the fact that we have 17% poverty headed towards 20%. I refuse to accept the fact that we have the worst health care in the country and the worst health status of any state in the country. I refuse to accept the poverty and the pain and suffering which could be cured if we ran our state government on the basis of science and truth instead of partisanship and fiction. So I'm hoping to instill a little sanity and a little statesmanship back into the political system of the state of Kentucky in the hopes that we can solve some of the perennial problems that have been facing Kentucky throughout my lifetime.
Why haven't you given up on Kentucky yet? I mean, why haven't you just said...
Because I was born in Kentucky, I hadn't given up on Kentucky or America. I think if I could reach back and take the principles that made Kentucky, that made America great, and on which America was founded, that's entrepreneurship and self-reliance and individual rights and self-determination. I think if we reapply those old line principles to modern day Kentucky, that we can lift Kentucky in every way into a higher state of being to the benefit of all the citizens.
If elected governor, what are some of the goals you plan to meet?
Well, first of all, we've got to establish legitimacy back into state government in Frankfort. Right now, we're operating under a dysfunctional state government where both parties have abandoned the principles that they once stood for, and right now have their horns locked up like two big bull elks fighting each other over territory while the business and the people lays dead in the dust. That's why we have perennial problems, because the energies and the focus and the political process in Frankfort has been involved on other levels other than solving those perennial problems. So what we want to do is we want to establish transparency and legitimacy and a trust back in the governmental process in Frankfort. You and I could come up with great ideas on how to solve Kentucky's problems and the legislation that was necessary, but if we submitted it to the political process that exists in Kentucky today in Frankfort, it would get shredded beyond recognition. So we have to get back to where what we want to do, what D. Riley, my running mate, and I want to do, and the reason we're running as independents instead of association with some party, is we believe that the parties are at fault. Not the rank and file, not the local senator or representative, Democrat or Republican. We're going to need those people's help when we get in office in order to pass what we need. But the leadership of both parties are to blame. So what we believe is an independent for governor, somebody who's not affiliated with either party, someone who doesn't care who gets credit for doing what's right for the people of the state of Kentucky. That person, we believe, can unlock those horns in the party, breathe fresh life and reinvigoration into both parties, and ask the best and brightest of both parties to rise up and join that independent in the People's Caucus, where we start addressing the needs of the people instead of the political posturing of the partisanship. So we believe that's the only way out of this morass that we've gotten ourselves into. That's why Dee and I are running as independents, and why we think the people of Kentucky are going to elect us, because they know just exactly what we're talking about. But I was asked earlier about what I could possibly do to get voting rights back for felons. And there is a process where most people apply to the probation office or the parole office, they will be given the proper information on how to go about to reapply and get the person's civil rights back. Not especially the right to own a firearm, but the right to vote and hold office. And I encourage everybody who's watching this who has a felon who thinks they're disenfranchised to check with their probation office to find out whether in fact they can get their voting rights back. But on the other hand, when I do get into office, I'm going to try to make sure they get automatically restored. Once a person does their time and gets off parole or probation, that it will be automatically restored. You know, there's no need to disenfranchise those people. Those people may know what's wrong with this society more than anybody else, and be able to cast a vote for somebody who really might be able to get something done for the people of the state. So no, I'm for reestablishment, revisiting of the voting rights of convicted felons in the state.
Another thing is, what about health care in America, and what do you think would be the best way to solve the crisis that we're in?
Well, first of all, I don't want socialized medicine. I don't want. Barrett and Jones ran out a lot of health insurance companies in this state. So what I do is I invite in every health insurance company in this state to compete with each other to sell us the best value, lowest price health policies we can to the individuals. Then I would want everybody to have catastrophic health insurance, even if it's $1,000 deductible for every citizen. I want a catastrophic health insurance policy to be set, so that nobody loses everything that they got when they go to the hospital. And we ought to have say a $50 copay, so that not everybody runs to the emergency room with a hangnail. And then I want to fully fund the county health departments. They are the safety net for the poorest amongst us, and you know, they are the ones who give out the vaccinations. They are the ones who preventative education and all. And if a person can't afford the $1,000 deductible, then we can help subsidize. The government can help subsidize those people, but they got to pay something. If they can't afford the $50 copay, then they'll take that person. If it's a question of, gee, are they sick enough to go to the hospital? They'll take the county health department. The county health department says, yes, they're certainly sick enough to go to the hospital. Then to get taken to the hospital, the health department helps pay for whatever copay there. But I want to keep it in the hands of I want to keep it in the hands of the American system, and that is non-socialism as much as I possibly can, and give everybody some sort of coverage so they don't lose everything on that situation.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.